So there are three pillars to what the progressives are trying to do to take power in this country. The first pillar is the USA is a racist nation and always has been. So all the traditions that we have, all the Constitution, all of the history, it's got to be thrown out, gone, obliterated. We have to start over. That's pillar number one. Pillar number two is climate change will kill everyone soon. Soon. Because the planet is getting so hot that it cannot sustain human life or whatever, or the oceans will come and get us, whatever it may be. Now, that is really being used to accumulate central power in Washington. So the hysteria about climate change, and climate change, as I've said many, many times, is real. And we should all be striving for a cleaner planet. It's better if we don't have fossil fuels. It's better if we have clean energy. Nuclear energy is clean. Why don't we have that? Well, I don't want to get into weeds here. But the climate change, all of this is to accumulate power in Washington. Not about anything else. It's to take your money, tax money, and divert it to Washington, which will spend it on projects designed not to fight climate change, but to increase progressive power. Third pillar is income inequality in America. And because the capitalistic system isn't fair, we got to do away with that and put socialism in. And that's what I'm going to deal with tonight. Now, the only reason this has caught fire in the last 10 years, maybe 12 years since Barack Obama was elected president, is because the media is behind this. The media accepts all of the pillars and pushes the progressive agenda. You see that every day. I don't have to convince you of that. And now we have a very weak president. Whereas Barack Obama was at heart a progressive man. He wasn't a foolish man, all right? He did deport record numbers of undocumented people in his 8 years in office. He did things that were a little bit socialist, but he never went over a line. There was a line he wouldn't go over. Biden has no line. It's not because Biden's a progressive socialist. He's not. Biden isn't anything. He's nothing. There was a movie by Woody Allen called Zelig. That's your Biden. I mean, whatever, he thinks is good for him, that's what he'll do. It doesn't matter what he did in the past, what he said in the past, doesn't matter. Okay, so you have a very weak president. The progressives really want to consolidate their power under Joe Biden because they know that Biden may not make another term. And you can say, okay, Kamala Harris, and yeah, she's a progressive and she'll do what she's told to do. She absolutely will. But I'm not so worried about her because she is unpopular among Americans. She's not going to be the face of progressive politics. So let's get to this income inequality, all right? First, the facts, and the facts are very, very important for you to know. All right, so we have compiled this chart from the Statista Group. It's a global research company that goes into all areas of finance, not only in America, but all over the world. So this is the USA right now. Those earning under $15,000, 9% of the population. Those are people who cannot work or will not work for whatever reason, okay? So the poor people are between 15 and 25,000, that's 8%. So 17% of people aren't making enough money to really live and without government assistance. 25 to 35,000, another 8%. And that's tough, particularly if you got kids. 35 to 50, 12%. 50 to 75, 17. 75 to 100,000, 12. 100,000 to 150,000, 16. 150,000 to 200,000, 8. And over 200,000, 10% of the population. Okay, come back to me. So if you break it down, it's 28% of Americans earn below $50,000 a year. And that means they don't have a lot of discretionary income. 29% are between 50 and 100,000, and you can live fairly well on that. if you're not living in San Francisco or New York City. Again, it's your choice where you live. And then 34%, a whopping number, earn more than $100,000 a year. Now that should say to everybody, capitalism is great. If 34% of the population can earn more than $100,000 a year, this is a great country, America. That's why everybody wants to come here. All right? So that's the truth. More than a third of us are making more than $100,000 a year. And you want to break that down? You want to destroy that? Are you insane? No, they're not insane. They don't believe anyone should have discretionary income, because income is power. Income is personal power. The more money you have, the more you can protect yourself, the more options you have to live where you want to live and do what you want to do. The progressives don't want that. They want the government to tell you what to do. Are we all getting the big picture here? Now, this should be taught in every school in the country, but it isn't. Now, on the bottom end, the 28% earning less than $50,000, the majority of those are minority groups for whatever reason. And therein lies the progressive. Oh, it's not fair. It's not fair that you don't have a lot of money, but look at all those white people. They have the money because of slavery. That's why. But if you really examine it, if a African American or Hispanic American or Native American, whatever it may be, gets educated, they're going to make more than $100,000 a year. In fact, their path in 2021 is a little bit easier because of all the programs designed to elevate the so-called marginalized communities. And I have no problem with that, as long as the programs are dealt with on a fair basis. Well, Joe Biden is going to be president, and we may be in for some economic uncertainty. That's why now more than ever, I recommend you diversify with gold and silver. The only company I recommend is American Hartford Gold. So please call them right now and tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you, and they will give you up to $1,500 of free silver on your first order. Now, since I've been recommending American Hartford Gold, gold itself up over 40%, silver up over 60%. So don't wait. Call 866-501-5201. That's 866-501-5201, or text BILL to 65532. Bill O'Reilly here. Thank you for watching this video, and make sure you subscribe to the First TV YouTube page. Just hit the big red subscribe button below, and you'll get clips and highlights of my program, The No Spin News, every single day. We'll see you soon.